Without further ado, today we have our main speaker, which is Professor Dr. Suresh Govind here with us. And if I were to speak about Prof, it will have to be an entire session on its own, right? So he has won various accolades. He was once awarded the nation's Young Scientist Award and various other honors. He has not only dedicated his life to science, but also to the purpose of reformation and transformation of the society around the world. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, Prof, you can take it away.
So thank you, Prashant. A very, very good morning to all of you, and so happy to see so many of you this morning on a bright, cheerful morning. Well, okay, not so bright, but anyway, it is bright enough. Some of you have come in for the first time, and we have specifically invited students from across other universities and colleges and so on. And many of you are in this prime time of your life in which you will be facing challenges of a different nature, challenges of a different kind. And therefore, what we want to talk about today is that how do we unleash success? How do we unleash success with values? How do we unleash success with values? The whole idea is that, of course, we need to define what success is. And I'm not going to do that right now because that will take a bit of time. But nevertheless, all of us are keen to go towards success. And each one of us will have our own definition of what success means, and therefore live by that particular definition. So what I'm going to do at this point of time is that perhaps go for about 40 minutes of this talk. I want to introduce to you some new technology, if you may like, and then later we can ask questions and discuss. My suggestion to you also is perhaps as questions come up, you should actually use a pencil and a paper to actually jot this down, and then you can actually chat it. You can send it by chat, and then that will be quite easy. Then we can easily answer some of them. At this period in time, this is the most uncertain period. Actually, frankly, there's a lot of sympathy for the younger generation now because the economics reset button that has been pressed by the coronavirus has really put all nations in a very great dilemma. You find that the billions of dollars of economic loss may warrant us to may raise the unemployment factor, and also maybe reduce pay subsequently. There is a lot of what we call uncertain periods, uncertain areas of life. And this uncertainty, oh, we are so unlucky, this period where I'm supposed to go up, and this is where the world has become uncertain. So some of you may feel this. So I just want to let you know, the history of human civilization has always been the history of uncertain periods. In fact, it is in these uncertain periods that you find some new things emerging. There was at that one period of time where the First World War took place, the Second World War took place, the Spanish flu took place. All these had very large, disastrous consequences on humanity, and thereby they had to rethink new ways and new strategies on how they should think. So literally, people have actually emerged from these crises in better ways. If you look at the agricultural revolution that has evolved into electrical revolution, and then of course, mechanical revolution, and then that went into electrical revolution, and then of course came the digital revolution, and today we are in this huge, big revolutionary change in which suddenly the landscapes will change. So it is at this juncture in time, how do we prepare ourselves to face life's uncertainty? Because as the saying goes, if you look at this is lately taken from some statistics paper that shows percentage of people feeling stressed by issues in the national news. You find that mass shooting, rise in suicide rate, climate change and global warming, separation and deportation of immigrant, widespread sexual harassment, all these issues, apparently the ones who are feeling more stress is Gen Z. And compared to the adults is the black color, the red color is this Gen Z. So what does it mean? It means that the stimulus is coming to us and the capacity and the capability for us to respond is becoming compromised. This is what this one clear graph demonstrates, that the world has changed, challenges are coming, but the inability for us to cope up with the challenges is what that causes stress and increasing various other social issues such as suicides and so on. 20 analyzed, this is a large survey data sets, and they did a correlation between the rise of the smartphone in 2012 and the rise of mental health problems among teens. You can see that many youngsters spend quite a lot of their time in technology, and they apparently show a very strong correlation of mental health issues and the use of smartphones. They also did the analysis and found out similar correlation, explicitly linking more time on new media with more mental health problems for teenagers in grades between 8 and 12. Conversely, more time spent in person interactions, for example, homework, religious activity, or print media, correlated with fewer mental health problems. So they also did a positive things. This statistics is taken from Developmental Science in 2018, where they demonstrated that the higher correlation linking new media with mental health issues, and also linking good activities or positive activities, having interactions now, and that has actually lessened mental health issues. So what does it mean? It means that the more and more the opportunity the world is offering us to engage with these things, there's a need for us to actually balance our life in a good way, get our priorities right, get our systems right. Robert Kennedy said, "This world demands the qualities of a youth, not a time of life, but a state of mind, a temper of the will, a quality of imagination, a predominance of courage over timidity, of the appetite for adventure over the life of ease." Robert Kennedy said this. Powerful. That means to say that youth is just not a physical age, just between some 18 to 25 or some of these age groups that people classify. People should not think that, okay, beyond that, then you're no more youth. As long as you are having a youthful mind, you are a youth. To continue to have that youthful mind, whatever challenge I'm able to manage, whatever it is, I got a positive sense in my mind. This kind of tendency will give rise to a youthful approach towards life, facing challenges in life, and at the same time, able to manage the kind of obstacles and challenges so that we can experience success throughout. So this is a very good saying that it is not age, but it is a state of mind. Right now, dear friends, if you can't find solution in the opposite direction, but problems are going in this direction, we can never find the answer. So everything has a solution. Everything in this world, there is a solution to everything. If we have not found a solution, it means that we have not had enough time to search for it, or we do not know where to search for it. So the question is that the problem and the solution are two totally, any problem you have, any emotional problem, what we call problems of suffocation and conforming, problems of no job, problems of pay cut, whatever problems, there is a solution. It's a question of seeking solution towards finding out what to do about it. Just recently, I saw, the famous, I don't know whether many of you know, but the very famous actor in Bollywood passed away. His name is Rishi Kapoor. Very, very good actor those days, and used to act in many films. And before he passed away, there was an interview he gave to someone, and he was saying that how he emerged as a star, it was because his father, Raj Kapoor, I don't know whether you know the history of movies, but anyway, the father was Raj Kapoor, and he did this movie called Mera Naam Joker, and that failed. That totally failed at the box office. So he wanted to create another movie, and he thought, okay, who shall he cast? Because of the fact that their family did not have money, because they mortgaged house, mortgaged the RK studios and all that. So they finally resorted to actually asking this young boy, who was about only 15 or 17 years old, to act in this movie called Bobby. And that is what that movie became, a very big smash hit, and he emerged as a star. So in every crisis, there is an opportunity. In every obstacle, there is an answer. It's a question of having patience to find the right answer at the right place. And most of the time, in searching for the answers, one key thing we must realize, we should not get stressed up. See, this is where we all coiled up, distressed, upset. And how can we find the solution? Best solutions come when the mind is always calm and the mind is always peaceful. But if the mind is going to be intertwined with all these problems and challenges, we will never get ourselves out. So key thing in every challenge is always to keep our mind peaceful, steady, happy, joyous. pop, we get the answer. Yeah, apple tree, under the apple tree, who said? Yeah, Newton said. Newton was not disturbed. Newton was not agitated. Newton was not restless. Newton was calm. Newton was collected. Newton was happy. And suddenly one apple fell down. Thousands of apples have fallen down. Millions of people have seen these apples. Yet it only dawned in the mind of a peaceful Newton that about the reasons as to why the apple should fall down. 20 years of research, and that gave rise to gravitational theory. So great discoveries are made when the mind is calm. My point to you is one of the key factors to unleashing success in the world is the ability to master your mind. I think this is a very important point. The problem now is that we do not have the mastery of our own mind, and we have allowed the mind to dictate to us what we should do, how we should do, and so on. The ability to keep the mind calm and always be making sure that in whatever circumstances it is available to us to generate the answers is the secret towards success. But how do we constantly keep that? That seemed to be a very good answer, but how do we keep that mind like that? This is what I'm going to let you know. We are on a highway and the next exit is success. So from here on, you will be moving towards success from this moment. Solution cannot be created at the same level of consciousness that generated the problem. Powerful statement said by Einstein. Okay, what do you mean by this? It means that if you got a problem, you don't work on the problem, you raise the level of consciousness. You raise the level of consciousness means you raise the level of awareness. So remember, the theory is that everyone can sort all the problems. Okay, every problem that you have can be sorted out. Okay, but the problem is the solution is in one direction and the problem is in the other direction. Okay, so now I need to direct my solution to the directed problem. Okay, I need to find the solution in the right place at the right time. Okay, but one more thing that I must do towards creating a solution is to raise my level of consciousness, raise my level of awareness. Now, this is the whole trick of the whole thing. That is how when you raise the level of awareness, the mind becomes connected and the mind becomes peaceful and you will be able to find solutions to the answer. The real reason why we are not able to do that is because of this iceberg. This whole session is going to be full of pictures. It's not going to be words, but pictures and pictures and pictures. So here is a conscious mind. And here's a subconscious mind. I'm sure you must have known that of Titanic, the ship that hit the iceberg and sank. And you must understand why it sank. It sank because the captain did not know that there is a huge 3/5 of the iceberg is below the water and only 2/5 is what you can see. So he underestimated the power of the iceberg and crashed into it and causing thousands of people to die simply because there is huge amounts of iceberg below. Like that, in our own human personality, you find that we have brought back with us a huge amount of luggage. The conscious mind is aware, but you know, there are a lot of things that we are unaware of, even our own selves. Even in this lockdown, you will notice that if you were cleaning your library or you're cleaning your books and cleaning up your storeroom, have you suddenly found out certain things that you almost forgotten, but it is still there? Hey, where did you, oh, and then you start spending time in looking at the things that you actually misplaced and now you discovered. You find new books that you have never thought it was there, but you looked at it. When you start tidying up your house, there are a lot of things inside that you will find that you have got used now and you can use it. And certain things you don't dispose, you keep it away. In the same way, in your own mind now, there are many, many things inside our system, but you don't know yourself. Hey guys, oh, check it out. Oh, this is the kind of youth language. What is it? Oh, let me check it out. There's a supermarket and the mall has, oh, sorry, the mall gives you 50% discount. So what do? Haha, check it out. I like to check it out. So what do? You walk to the mall and you check the price, you check the goods and you do that. Hey, have you heard of this restaurant? Yes. What is this restaurant? This restaurant gives you good food and they are very good. Really? I've never heard this place. What's the name of the place? Oh yeah. So tonight I'll go and check it out. You know, so in everything you have this attitude, check it out, check it out. I have to check it out. So why is it that we are not checking out our own mind? Because we only can check it out what we can see. But what is it that we cannot see? There's a huge amount of things that is within us that we have not seen. And all these things are what that blocks our successful achievement of the ability to reach success. So we need to clear some of these things out so that we can become very clear. The more and more we clean up this mess, we find that we can reach our success in our life. So this is what it is. The whole idea is that there's a, like classic example. Okay, tomorrow I will get up early in the morning, I will do this, I will do that. Okay, that's what the conscious mind tells you. Alarm clock rings up at 6:30, 7 o'clock, and then the subconscious mind tells you, doesn't matter. Today's lockdown, Saturday, rest, sleep, and then you get up again at 10 o'clock. So who dictated? The subconscious mind, right at the bottom, dictating to us, influencing us, making us live the life dictated by the thoughts that is now below us. So therefore, there is what we call hijacked. Our systems are becoming hijacked. So dear friends, if you notice very well, in a flight, if you're going for, and suddenly the hijacker gets into a flight, and the hijacker say, come on, hands up, and we in the flight, we shiver. We are supposed to go to Chennai, and now the flight is going towards Rome or somewhere, and you're frightened. You don't know why, because you're looking at the gun, and therefore you keep silent. So what does this mean? That means your flight is hijacked. So the key point here is that in our life, many things are being hijacked from us. We have this intention to succeed. We have the intention to reach the top of the goal, but our subconscious mind, it doesn't matter. I cannot do it. It is not for me. Success is meant for any other people. So we sort of do a programming, and we hinder and hamper our own progress in our life. So this is why you find that we cannot reach right at the top, because we are being influenced. Now, this is a very important diagram. So there was this tiger in the forest where the hunter shot that mother tiger. So the baby tiger was left behind. And soon this mother sheep came along and took this baby cub tiger. And then many months and years later, this baby cub tiger is now playing with the sheep. Then another tiger passed by and saw this incredible phenomenon of the baby cub playing with the sheep. So the mother tiger says, another tiger says to this baby tiger, excuse me, do you know who you are? I'm a sheep. No, you are not a sheep. Why do you think you're a sheep? No, I was with the mother sheep and we all grew up together and all that. No, come here and look at this. And then they look at the reflection of the water. And then suddenly you see that you are not the sheep, but you are the brave tiger. So the point of the story is that success in life must first come from understanding who we really are. Who we are, why we have come, what is the purpose of my life? All these questions, if it comes to us, we'll start to know who we are. So this is a very important point. Once we have understood who we really are, we will start to get a new identity, and then we progress in our life. So this is a slide that demonstrates to you that we are controlled by perception. So you look at this small cat looking at the lion, and then he thinks he's a lion. So therefore the cat has got high confidence, because every time he looks at the lion, mirror, you see a reflection of the lion, which is good. So what we are saying to you is that our entire life is controlled by perception. And this is what the subject matter is all about. If we change the perception about our own self, change the perception in the way which we live, we are on our success road. We don't really need to worry about the destination, but we worry a lot about our kind of feeling towards it. A lot of people mess it up in the sense, and therefore spoil the path. So the whole idea is that if we have a high control about our perception that we can be successful, we can be okay, we can be achieved, then that is the start of this whole journey. So we will tell you now success values with 5G. This is the 5G technology. You know, this 1G, 2G, we have now been operating with 3G, and then we had the 4G. Okay, so now this is the 5G technique. And the 5G approach is a very, very good approach, because in the first instance, if we have this 5G, and it's easy for you to remember, and you always can recall back whenever you want to recall. So whenever in doubt and confusion, think back about this 5G. Somewhere along the way, we may have unplugged ourselves from this 5G technology. So what is 5G? The first G is what is called goal. So this is a mountaintop. So when we are sitting from the bottom and we see right at the top, we see a mountaintop. Look at that, that's a mountaintop. Now, first thing you must have the intention of wanting to climb the mountain. That is the first thing. Hey, mountain is very nice. We must climb the mountain. Okay. So when you're climbing the mountain, then you will have the right gears and all that, because as you keep on climbing, the oxygen levels are going down. So you need to have oxygen tank and all that. So first thing is that what is the mountain that you are planning to climb? This is the first question that you must ask in a success question. What is the success? What is the success peak that you're climbing? What is the mountain peak that you're climbing? So what is the goal that you want to have? So first thing in life is have a goal. Have a goal, but not a normal, what do you want? I just work somewhere, get the house, and finally get married, produce 3 children, you know. Okay, so those are normal things. These are things that happens. It's like going to say, what will you do? What's your goal? I will sit in the dining table and eat my food. So these are all incidental. You have to sit on the dining table, in the chair, and have your food. So that is all part of it. Goal. What is this mountain that I want to climb? So how people envisage this is that the best thing, especially young people, you should think like that. The greatest motivation that you can do is go and visit a funeral. When you have someone passed away, go and see there. The man is there, and he cannot take anything with him anyhow. But then you look at the way people talk about him. Wow, look at him, how much he has contributed, what an incredible life, how he has touched people's life. So these are the words that finally is left behind. So the mountain that you must climb at the top appears to be like a goal, noble goal, beautiful goal, wonderful goal, joyous goal. By reaching that goal, not only you feel a sense of happiness and joy, but the society, community, all benefits from it. Wow, powerful. I am a normal housewife, and therefore, what can I possibly achieve? Oh, that's wrong thinking, because the goal is that if you are with your own child and you can make him to be such a wonderful ideal, that is equivalent to making 1,000,000. That is how Kasturibai looked at Mahatma Gandhi and developed him, and he therefore gave India independence. So how you shape a child is also incredible. It's a very big, beautiful goal. So your goal has to be lofty, has to be noble. So don't just study for the sake of studying. I've seen, dear friends, I have gone around the world to many, many countries, to many, many parts of the world, and spoken to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. And in life, I have achieved scientific discoveries, won awards and everything else under the sun. I mean, my house is full of these awards all over the place. But the greatest thing that I want to tell you is that from my experience, I realize you may have everything that you want to have, but the most important thing that you must have is that feeling of having done something, a feeling of sense of achievement, a sense of joy, a sense of happiness all along. And this can only be achieved by deciding what is the goal that you want to climb. What is his goal? What is the highest goal? Become contributory, become giver. This is the attitude. So first G is develop a good goal. So I can't give you everything in this session because developing a goal itself is another 1-hour talk. So I can't do that here. But the point of this is that sharpening the goal, refining the goal, bettering the goal, increasing the quality of the goal, increases the quality of the personality. That's the idea. So higher the goal, greater is the willingness to achieve, and therefore unfolding of potentials takes place. So goal is one thing. Second, once you have decided to have a goal, dear friends, a lot of people lose out the second G, which is what? Go-getter. Go and get the goal. Whatever goal that you have achieved, go get it. So you must be a go-getter, which means perseverance. Whatever it is, we must not fail. Whatever it is, we must not. And a very good picture for that is this river. It's a beautiful river flowing from the top of the mountain, but where is it? It's going to fall into the sea. Wow, fantastic. So the river now flows from the top, going to the bottom of the ocean, bottom of the sea, and around with that you will have hurdles and stones and boulders, but the river merges and turns and twists, and whatever it does, but it finally reaches the ocean. So when the river reaches the ocean, it is merging. So the river appears to know how to get to the goal. And it is not bothered about the size of the boulder, size of obstacle, it reaches the goal. In our case, the slightest challenge, oh, I give up. Slightest disappointment, oh, I cannot. Slightest, somebody says something and we get affected, emotionally affected. Oh, I don't know. I feel down a little bit. I feel down. I feel sad. I feel depressed. I feel hurt. I feel agitated. I feel restless. All this emotion comes by. The river says, hey, whatever it is, I've decided to go to the ocean. I want to go to the ocean. And every time I meet a challenge, you know something? Every time I see a stone, the river meets the stone, but there is a guggling sound in the stone. There is a laughter in the river. It just means there's a guggling sound, and all of us stand by, go to the riverside and enjoy the nice, beautiful guggling laughter of the river hitting the stone. What does it mean? That at every obstacle, every challenge, we must not lose what? Our joy, our happiness, our peace, our mind. So it doesn't matter whatever challenge it is, I will solve it. I don't care, I will solve it. That kind of enthusiasm must be in an individual who is now progressing towards life itself. So this is the river reaches the sea. So next time when you have a challenge and you want to give up, imagery, I'm not, my life is not even like a river, man. The river knows how to go to the sea. How come I don't know? Well, the mind immediately, the river must give you that motivational imagery to quit all this thinking and start to move towards positivity. So this is how we reach our success. Whatever it is to go through, you have to have petrol in your car. Whatever success goal you want to go, you know the destination, you drove the car, you're reaching there, but in your car, you must have petrol. So what is the petrol in your car is another G. And what is the G? Gratitude. G, third gratitude. So this is the gratitude that you must have, can be likened to this image of a tree. Yeah. So the tree right at the top, there's mango, there's fruits, and those, therefore you can pluck. So a lot of people see those fruits and you pluck. But the tree also knows that the reason why it can give so much fruits is because there are deep roots there. So we have to be very grateful to our roots that have supported us. So one of the biggest roots of our life, which we must continuously have gratitude for, is our parents. So this is a very important concept in our life. The moment you have this, but not connected to your parents, then you find, or not having love for your parents, or not having, emotional feeling for your parents, and we live in isolation like that, then you find the gratitude will become affected. When the gratitude is affected, it has got an impact on an individual's life. So always getting up in the morning. How many of you get up in the morning and say, oh, thank you so much for the air? Because there are people who have air, but they're not able to breathe. And therefore, they go to the intensive care unit and be under the oxygen tank or what to breathe. So breathing itself, which God has given us the apparatus, which is called the lungs, and the free air, which is also free, is given to us 24 hours, 24/7 free, Can you imagine? You open the tap, there is water coming through. Millions of people don't have water. There are some people who get up in the morning and go to school. I have to go to school. I don't feel like going to school. I don't want to go to school. Millions of people don't get up in the morning and they have no opportunity to go to school because poverty is preventing them from going to school. And today we have that opportunity to go to school. So success in life, if you can start having just simple things, gratitude. I'm very grateful to my parents. I'm very grateful to the house that I'm living. The food that I'm getting today afternoon, look at it for a while, because as you look, millions of people are not having food. I am given this food. One great gratitude must come from that. Look at the trees. You are so beautiful. You are there living in this world and you're giving out oxygen. You're so nice. So gratitude. So in everything you have the 3G coming out. The more and more gratitude you have, something, there will be connectivity coming in your life. You'll start getting new answers to your problems. You'll find moving towards life becomes fantastic. So this is, though people say gratitude, 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 but really speaking, think about it. I want you to seriously think about it. As the best thing to do is that if you are today having lunch, sit in front of the food and close your eyes and feel the food. And even when you pray, there are some places, or they chant the prayers or chant hymns or grace or whatever that you do, you should be grateful. This food has come from where? Then imagine this food is coming from a farm. And that farm is, the vegetable has been planted by a farmer whom you don't even know, but he took the toil, sun, worked in the rain and managed to plow and get the vegetables. And these vegetables now are marketed, somebody else cycles, somebody else delivers. Lot of people are connected to my well-being. Why, do you know there are so many people helping me to survive in this world? What an amazing, amazing, amazing connectivity. So therefore, oh Lord, thank you so much for this incredible opportunity to live in this world. And you have given me a whole lot of roots for me so that I can grow and give the fruits to humanity. So the gratitude is, the roots is what the gratitude is about. And for discovering the gratitude and discovering the various people who have supported you in this endeavor is a very important, very important attribute that you should possess. For the G is what is called give. Yeah. So give means nothing. Hey, we are born to give. That's all. We are born to serve. We are born to give. So this is the reason why we worship the cows in the Hindu community worships the cows, and animals like this are worshipped simply because cows eat grass, which is not really wanted, and produces milk, which is really wanted. So from grass, which is unwanted, to milk that is really wanted, is something from unwanted to wanted. My God, if I can be also like that, where I can live on the minimum Not all the time go to Papa, Mama, I want this, I want that, I want this one also I want. Oh, I need that, I need this, I need this. Oh, you keep on doing this, and keep on demanding and demanding. Be like the cow, live on the minimum. This is all, it's okay, it's enough, I'm enough. And then live and give out the maximum. Parents are working very, very hard, and now especially these days, they will have to cut their salary. Some of them go through a cut salary. They may only give 50%, but they may not come to you and say that we are going through a difficult time. But it is up to us to go and tell Papa, what are the adjustments that I must make? Please let me make, and I will do so. I used to remember when I used to study in Victoria Institution in school, and I stay in Stapak. So from Stapak to Victoria Institution is quite a few kilometers. You know, you take a 20 cents bus up there to Malacca Street, and then walk up to VI, and then take another 20 cents and come down like that. So you have 40 cents gone, then the remaining sum of money is only used for this. So I don't text. So what I do is I walk from there, sometimes from my house, which is in Stapak, Jalan Pahang. I walk from there to VI. There's about a couple of kilometers. I used to walk up, walk down to save that 40 cents so that I can use the 40 cents for something else that I may need. So without taxing my father for it. Of course, if I asked him, he would give me, but the conscience was why I should burden other people for my life. So you have that kind of mentality. We go into this giving thing right from start. Live on the minimum. I don't need so much. There's no necessity for me to expand. Live on the minimum. That's why there's a great saying, simple living, high thinking. Simple living means simple things, but achieve. Don't go for the big, big luxurious things and all that. The greatest people in life are always very simple people. So learn to have this fourth attitude that in life, if you want to be successful, is learn to give. Give. I'm here to give. I'm here to make the world a better place. I'm here to make everyone around me happy. Can you imagine if you start saying now, I want to make everybody around me happier than what I was? Wow, powerful. You empower yourself with that kind of attitude, and you will live your life according to it, and you will give your life the best things that you can ever achieve. So that is, and lastly, the fifth G, 5G is, dear friends, we no longer live in isolation. We cannot live in our small area of life and continue to live like this because we are all global. What do you mean by global? Global means that we all are connected to the rest of the world. If you make a visit now to another country, then chances are that you can also spread disease to another group of people. So the power of one, that means I can have an effect on other community, and other community can have an effect on me. So if I can produce something like this, it can have an effect. It can have a large global effect. So as successful people always think big, always think large, always think of far-reaching consequences, always want to achieve many, many things in life. So global attitude is always wanting to go in a nice way. And I think to illustrate that point is this orchestra. This orchestra, every individual become individualistic. Supposing everybody says, I will live my life. I don't care about the world. It is my life. I will do what I want. And everyone starts to do that. It won't be an orchestra. This will be really a melody. This will become a melody, and a melody, not melody, melody, where you find that all the noises, you will create beautiful noise, but there will be no music here. Why is that? Because every individual wants to live on his own. This is my life. I don't care about other people. I'm not connected to other people. I care only for myself. When you do like that, you can never get a beautiful orchestra. Orchestra, the musical instruments are different. The musical way in which you play are different. But because it is conducted by one individual, we try to blend, contribute, and try to add on so that everybody works together in harmony. So now somewhere in the world, somebody is now looking for the vaccine. Someone is looking for some medication because we want to bring it out to society and community and make sure that everybody is able to be free from COVID-19. So what is that? A global approach. So a successful person always thinks of, if you're in Malaysia, how do you make Malaysia position yourself? How to make Malaysia in a more global world? You do, not complaining or not saying that, not this, but you yourself, your entire earnestness is to bring the nation to something more vivid visibility. And we say that if you struggle and strive, the potentials will unfold, and you'll find people coming and picking up, offering us opportunity and giving us this kind of outlook. So right from start, even when you are going to school, even you are, think like this: I must be here, I must be connected, I must do something for bigger, larger cause. You know, when you keep on thinking like that, you automatically, your system will start operating in a different way. You start reading more books. Our successful people at least reads one book a month. How many of you read one book a month? It should not be Facebook, but I'm talking about real book. The real book. How many of you read one book a month? How many of you continuously look for books or e-books or whatever it is that your entire earnestness is to acquire knowledge because you want to compete with the global market? So if you have that kind of very firm attitude, then you become part of a very big, huge orchestra that can produce music for the world. So this 5G technology goal, become go-getter, have gratitude, always give, and become a global player should be embedded right from inside. You should continuously have this all the time, everywhere you go. Just have this 5, you have no problem. Your system will start operating and you will start to fit into everything. Believe me, you don't really need to worry about what career you will go into, where the job market is there. That is all not your worry. As long as I make sure my pencil is sharpened, somebody will pick it up and make sure they will write. You don't need to worry what is to be written, where is it to be written. Just spend time in sharpening the pencil and get it ready, because it will be useful for some people at some point to write things that are meant for the world. So this 5G is a very important technology: a goal, go-getter, gratitude, give, and global. So let me just revise this. Revise this. Number 1, have a mountain, have a goal, good goal, great goal, big goal, but have a goal and pursue this goal. Don't give up, persevere, and make sure that you are a go-getter and get to right to the top of the mountain, because from the top of the mountain, you can see beautiful things, wonderful things. Why should it be denied? So become a go-getter. But to go and get there, you need energy. Where is the energy coming from? The sense of gratitude. Always feel gratitude for everything that you do, and you find that you get immediate connectivity to so many things. So feel gratitude for your parents and make sure that you understand that the roots of your existence is supported by so many people whom you cannot see. I just showed you one example of the food, where you were consuming the food, and the food is actually brought to you by so many people down the line. So many people are helping to support our existence. Then the program of giving. Most people will stand on the operating table, stand on the operating system platform of take. What is it I should take, what I should take, what I should take. But you stand on the platform of giving. I've come to give. So you're different. Your competition is different. People who give will be standing on different platform. You find success you don't have to search for success. Success will come to you in a near shell. And then you find that, or give like this cow, which is a good symbol to talk about, where you eat on grass and give milk. So, and finally become global, where you get connected to bigger things, play cohesively, play coherently, play with everybody, and become a global player, so that collectively we can produce the music for the world to be. So for that, I need to have my equipment, and I must have the confidence to play it, but I must play with others. That means I must be a very good team player, a positive team player, to bring about success in life. So this is the 5G, which I've just summarized, a huge, big volume subject here, but I just summarized it in 31 minutes, 41 minutes, so that I can give some time for question and answer, and then in that way clarify this. So anybody would like to ask things? Is this some people would like to ask questions? Then you can definitely ask.
All right, Prof. Believe there's a question over there in the chat box. It is, I think, to rephrase it, it would be like, a goal is basically an ambition or a desire. Therefore, there are some teachings that are said that we should have a ceiling on desires. So where is the end point to our goals and desires?
Yeah, so goal is not a desire. A goal is, for example, I like to drive, my goal is to always sit in Rolls Royce. Okay, that is a goal, but that is a goal that is coming from a deep desire. So the idea of coming to the top of the mountain is what? Is to be able to see larger spheres of things, have higher information and knowledge, and thereby improve the quality of life of people and outside. So we talk about goal. In our case, we talk about noble goals. The goal must have nobility in the goal, not just from small house, I want to live in a multi-million-dollar house, not like that. It is a goal that talks about the potentials upon which we can all flower. So for that, you must have a noble goal. If all of us have very great noble goals, that I can, what you can do is you can actually connect these 5 sentences. I must have a goal that I must persevere enough, and I know that I will have enough gratitude so that I can continuously be in a position to give maximally to the global world outside. Now, see if I can connect all 5 together. All 5G can come into one sentence. Then you find that the goal becomes orientated. The goal, you see, is connected to the global. So if you have that kind of attitude and that kind of thing, then you are a person, you will find that you will achieve many, many things more. So ceiling of desires is that in order for you to achieve a great goal, there must be ceiling of desire. Classic example, if you want to go and get the Olympic gold medal, have to be a ceiling of desire. I cannot eat what I want to eat. I cannot continue to go with my friends and enjoy whatever that they enjoy. My whole life is changing. I have restricted the way that I buy things and indulge in things. So you see, I'm cutting a lot of things around me. When I cut a lot of things around me, there's a ceiling of desire. So what am I doing? I'm conserving that energy. I'm conserving the enthusiasm to be directed towards achieving the great goal. A good example will be that in my own case is that, I don't know whether many of you know, I think many of you know this, I've already told you many things, but some of you who are new, I'm actually really a failure. I failed my exam, I failed my STPM, I had only 2 principal passes and I was declared a failure. And of course, the entire community also mengikhtiarafkan saya sebagai seorang bodoh dan tak boleh capai apa-apa. Okay, maybe. And then one more time I did, 2 times I did that STPM exam, and both times I failed. So everybody told me to go to vocational school, go and do things that are, other things, normal things, ordinary things. Some people suggested me to go to work also because I'm not able to. So one day when I came home, and then I saw my father crying because he always wanted me to be a doctor and I was not able to do so. So suddenly I had this passion, okay, whatever it is, at the end of my journey, I want my father and mother to call me a doctor. That became my goal. So then I struggled. Okay, that was a big mountain for me to climb. Don't forget, I failed 2 times, not achieving well, cannot remember things, cannot forget. So it was a totally a different mountain climb, a noble goal. So what did I do? I have to do ceiling of desire. I cannot spend my energy going here, going there, doing other things, but other normal. I had to do a ceiling of desire program within my system and literally discipline myself to achieve the higher goal that I wanted. And so much so at the end of the day, when I finally got my doctorate from National University of Singapore, it was for me personally, it was the biggest achievement that I think I achieved, to make my parents happy. And for me, that was my goal. But because I did everything to make my parents happy, today I'm reaping a lot of rewards as a result of that particular noble notion. So the point of this, what I'm telling you, is not from some theoretical concept or ideas. It is directly from my own experience, in which I feel that this all results coming from that noble goal to make my parents happy. So gratitude is a very important subject. So this 5G is an important 5G subject to bring about success in life.
Perfect, Prof. The next question would be with the quote from Einstein that you have to raise your consciousness in order to address or find a solution to a problem. How do you actually raise your consciousness?
Yeah, by practicing these 5 things. For example, if I continuously have gratitude, early morning, I feel thankful for the water, thankful for my, food I eat, thankful for the air that I breathe, thankful for my parents for giving me at least this much. Okay, it may not be the best, but thank you so much. When I continuously have a sense of gratitude, I am triggering my consciousness. If I start, never mind, I myself don't have anything, but I will, whatever in my life, I give it and share with everyone, I'm triggering my consciousness. Every time there's a cabaran or halangan and I feel depressed, no, I'm not going to give myself to have a depression or sadness. I will always be happy. Consciousness. Always sticking to the goal and never giving it up. Consciousness. So this is what it means. So when these are all, the 5G gives you the continuous exercises to trigger the consciousness. And once you're in that consciousness mode, the thing will set you up and you will keep on going for it. You'll always give. Classic example will be an undergraduate scientist, undergraduate BSc student who's doing, but his project reports are so good and he does his work so well and he's so meticulous. So what the supervisor will do, hey guy, you're so good, you should go for and take up your master's. Hey, but I don't have money. Don't worry, we'll try and get a scholarship. So he will try and aim himself to get a scholarship and he will be recommended very strongly. The supervisors and the teachers and the lecturers don't want such people to go off because they have such good attitude. So if we cultivate all these kind of qualities, the world will come at our feet. Consciousness, if you heighten, you will get all the results.
Okay, and the next question would it be wrong to have personal goals to better myself? And personal goals, I think, are small goals that are personally affecting my life.
Can you give an example of a personal goal? A beautiful girl passes by, that's a personal goal, isn't it?
Yeah, I think probably that would be a good personal goal, probably.
Okay, so now the question is, when you formulate a goal, there's always what is called immediate pleasure or long-term gain. This is the difference that we must make. An animal cannot make the difference. A dog passes by, you throw one bone, the dog will want to eat that bone. It does not know how to plan, how to keep it aside for a rainy day and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't happen. So why this happens is that an animal always acts on instincts and impulse. This is a very important word, instincts and impulse. So the Sufi saying is that God sleeps in the stone, dreams in the plant, stirs in the animal, and awakes in the human being. So when he awakes in the human being, then how come he is continuously operating on impulse and instincts? Can you see? There's a difference now. So the difference now is that if we refine ourselves, this impulse and instincts, we come into control. Not every passing individual becomes a possibility. Every cigarette that passes by stimulates our nostril. Every bar that we pass by, there's a saliva that is coming out. Everything like this, there's a temptation. Oh, I feel tempted, everything. Then we are not in control of our life. In order to climb the highest mountain, there has to be a sense of discipline. The point of the teenager's life, you must understand, or teenager or youth's life, is that, of course, the hormones are also working. This is why we emphasize on the goal. The hormones are also working, temptations are natural. And actually, I really sympathize with our youth today because there's social media and the technology that you have, which we never had when we were growing. So your world of temptations for you all will be much more than for us. And I really pity because you are really in a jungle of temptations. Okay, in this jungle, the more the reason why we should have our eyes on the goal, because we can easily get distracted. This is the point. So when we get easily distracted, we can get hurt, we can get, affected. So have this goal at this period of time. Spend your time in sharpening your skills, developing your talents, and dedicate your life for a bigger, higher purpose. And then one fine day, the right person should come. The point of life is all these relationships should be leading towards forming a base, long-term relationship for the purposes of higher happiness and greater goal. So that instinct and impulse is now refined in a human being. Because why? Because in animal it stirs, but of course in a human being it awakens. Awakens what? Awakens the intelligence. Intelligence is the only tool to discriminate properly. Yeah.
Okay, I think the person who asked the question has given us like an example, which is personal goals, like seeking better grades, improving my KPIs, those kind of purposes.
Oh yeah. Those guys, listen. If you are a spiritual person and if you have a goal, your KPIs is the first thing that you must establish. The indicator for life is that you must have success meters. Whatever that you do, you must achieve. Whatever that you have accomplished, you must achieve. Achievement is a good expression of this success. We must be having a goal is not a great noble goal, what I have described. But you can translate that in order to achieve this great goal, all the normal, simple, easy, manageable goals must be achieved. If you're studying, you must try and get your 100%. If you are a businessman, you must try and become a millionaire. If you are an office worker, you must get all your KPIs good. So this is all normal things, normal goals that you must achieve. But all these normal goals must now contribute to the larger, bigger goal that you possess. So when you have like that, every day becomes an inspiring day to move forward. You can see that your system is now moving forward towards a great goal. Wow, it's fantastic, isn't it?
All right, Prof, there's another question here, which would be, despite continuous failures, how do I constantly remind myself and persevere the goal? What if perhaps it is not the right choice? Basically, how do you push through tough times?
Oh boy, I can write many books for you. Why don't you come to my house? I will sit down and narrate to you all my stories. My biography is full of full of disappointments and sadness and depression, though nobody knows about it and no one has been told about it. Simply because if you're prepared to climb, see, when you're climbing the top mountain, don't forget there will be slips. You can fall down, you can get hurt, oxygen levels will be low, food will not be enough. All these are problems if you decide to go to the top. Assuming now you don't want to go to the top, you stay at the bottom of the mountain, no problem. See, there's no problem for anybody. I'm just managing my life. The moment you decide to choose a high goal, believe me, the consequence of that is more problems. In fact, the more the problems, more exciting it is. Because you know why? It means I'm the right track. Because that means I'm going up the mountain. So this is my system that I have programmed myself to think. If there are more challenges, if people say it cannot be done, it excites me. Oh, it is not possible, I get excited. Oh, it's not possible. Okay, well, there's an excitement in my system that takes up. I like the idea that it cannot be done easily. It is not achievable, a lot of problems. It's very interesting. Then you use your system to see how I can get it, how can I achieve. So welcome problems, welcome adversities, welcome challenges, because the history of human life, you know, Sylvester Stallone is a good example. The guy was considered as a total failure. In fact, people told him, your voice is so bad, please don't even think of going into the movies. But finally, he became a multi-millionaire. Then there was this tall chap who went to the studio to give his voice over the radio. And then finally they said, listen, your voice are so baritone voice. I think there's no future. You have no future in this particular industry, and told him to go back. Then the first movie that he did was Sat Hindustani. And now today is what is called Bollywood's greatest icon, Amitabh Bachchan. It's a life story. You should read the life story of great people. He was almost bankrupt. My God, his life was almost bankrupt until he produced the ABC, what do you call it, the Who Millionaire, you know, the millionaire program. He went inside there and he managed to get his son, but he was declared bankrupt. So the point is life stories of all. That's why I love to read all these great stories of great people who went through the suffering. I read that story many times. Abraham Lincoln failed 16 times before he became the president of America. Failed 16 times. Oh, you. Edison failed 9,999 times to get the bulb. Oh, all these people, they went on. The key thing is you find that particular thing. Why is it that you went on? Because they were not focusing on the failure. They were focusing on the, I don't care, whatever happens, I will get my goal. In fact, they interviewed Edison. Edison said, Mr. Edison, I understand that you failed 9,999 times. Edison replied, I did not fail 9,999 times. I discovered 9,999 ways on how a filament should not be made. See, look at the lines, powerful lines. Wow, if I can get that kind of mindset into my system, the idea of reading spiritual books and the idea of biographical books or spiritual books is to fine tune our system of thinking. That is what I am spending this morning, because every night we have our own circles. In the daytime, I'm very busy. Why I decided I wanted to speak to all the youth and also the youth in the universities and outside is this thing. We are missing a point in our life. The point that we are missing in our life is that whatever that we are imbibing and reading can have a chance to change our mindset. Do not for 1 minute think that I cannot do it, I'm a failure, I have done not this well, this is not good. I just keep doing it. If finally you find that perhaps this field that you have chosen is not the right field, then you make your adjustment and maybe perhaps change the field. But the secret of success is don't do what you like, but like what you do. This is what Baba has said. Don't do what you like what you do. So whatever you've decided to do, you like it. I give you one example. You know, I'm not a techie savvy. I mean, I used to have some phobia in that. I used to stay away from that. But in these last few days, I decided, hey, what is this phobia? Why am I discomfort? Why am I scared? I started to analyze my own self. Then I overcome. No, I don't care. So I sat with Brother Billy, and he was very patient and kind enough to teach me many things about this, how to do this Zoom, how to do. So today I'm actually operating my slides using the share in the Zoom. And I feel very happy that I'm able to do so. And now I'm using the technology for other things as well. I'm reading, because I want to overcome the fear of not able to succeed. I'm doing it myself. For some people like you all, you will be so, what is so big deal? Yeah, for some, but for others, it is a big deal. So the key point here is that face the devil, finish the game. That's the whole idea. The whole idea is face the devil of your life and finish the game. So what is it that you have a weakness? Overcome that. What is it that you have a discomfort? Face it. Whoever that has been harassing you and disturbing you, face them with love and like that. So this is what this positive success of life is all about.
Okay, Prof, without wasting any more time, the next question would be, what do you do if you have no idea what you want to become in the future? Like you have no clear vision of yourself in the future.
Yeah, so it just means that things are starting to fossilize. Don't worry about it, because when I remember when I got 2E2O and was struggling in life and standing in the middle, lot of people, even career guidance counselors, what is it you want in life, brother? Can you please focus now? Please tell me, can you write for me? What is it you really want? And I said, I don't know, I'm so confused. I don't even know what is my talent. I don't even know what's my capability. I think by failing 2 times, I don't think I'm capable of doing anything. This was my answer. So confusion is a great state to be, man. When you are confused and you're not fossilized, don't worry about it. Just develop these 5 other things. What is that? Gratitude, feel connected, always give, get back to those, get back to the normal stuff. And you find that suddenly your system will know how to regulate it. Now it is too focused on anxiety. Oh, everybody else is moving forward. I am not moving forward. I do not know what my life is going to be. When you are focused on this type of anxiety thoughts, you will not get the clear direction. You won't get the proper things to do. The point of life is that when you are confused is the best state in life to be. When you're confused, you're uncertain. You know, when you're uncertain, wow, you don't know. It's like watching the middle of when you go into a theater and watch a movie, when right in the middle of the movie you come, you know, it's very uncertain. You don't know what the story is going to, you don't know how the story is going to end. Very uncertain, you know. But you know very well, you're waiting for the end. Who's the murderer? Who's the killer? Who's the one? And suddenly the most unsuspected person becomes, why didn't I guess that? Oh. So the whole idea is that the excitement is in the uncertain periods of your existence. Enjoy this moment. Yeah. Enjoy this moment, but get connected to the consciousness. How? Have gratitude. Give, be with parents. Just go back to your normal self and don't become anxious, become peaceful, become happy. Just go. Suddenly one day, somebody will pass by and give you one idea. And then, hey, that's a good idea. Why didn't I think of that? Maybe I should, that is the life that I should lead. Wait for these things. Meanwhile, expose yourself to as many people as you can. Talk to as diverse people as you can. Read as much as you want without forming any conclusion. Wait, then one day the jelly will set and there you are.
It's a bird, isn't it? Go and drink water.
Okay, I believe that drinking water is also important. So, okay, the next question would be, you mentioned that you have failed before and that you have made changes in your life. And in particular would be that you mentioned bad memory. So what was the best change you made to yourself which led you to this path?
So I began to go back to basics. So which means to say that from that day onwards, when I failed, I started to look back at life and finally decide whether am I stupid or what is it? Is there a brain damage in my system? Why is it that when I read something, I can't get into my head? Why? What's happening now? So I start to do that because I now have my intention. My intention is that I don't care what it is. My parents must call me a doctor. That's all. I just wanted to hear my father and mother open the mouth and say doctor, because that's what they wanted. Not that I wanted, they wanted. So when I had that vision, from that moment onwards, every day before I step out of the house, I fall on my parents' feet. I do Pada Namaskaram. And for those of you who are not Hindus, then you can do your own traditional greetings or whatever. But you have that connection back again. So you must make sure you go back to your roots. That's why the roots are very important. Go back to your roots. Serve, be happy, be connected. And then I revisited back my own temple. I started forming my own vision. I wanted to do something for betterment for the man. See, I didn't know what I was doing, but somehow I was beginning to connect back to a higher platform of consciousness, and suddenly things start to develop and the college doors open and everything happened. So the whole point in life is, dear friends, is that I realized if the handphone is not having the connection to the electricity and you have taken the handphone right in the middle, you don't have, I have all the contacts, I can phone, but there's no battery. There's no battery. I know if I just give one call, help will come, but I have no battery. So this is what is meant confusion. Where can I go and get the battery? How can I get connected to the thing? Where is the battery? But if I can get the electrical charge and connect back and plug in, then I find that my light will come in. I will know my contact. In the same way, the clear thing, one more G, which is the last G actually that covers all the G, is the grace of God. So take time and trouble to focus and connect back to get more and more grace from God. Grace from God means connect back to the current. And that is like electricity coming to your handphone. So like that, go back to the thing, find out what is it, find whoever the teacher you have or whatever master you're following, whatever it is, follow that sincerely and follow the teachings, have that kind of attitude, have patience, everything will come in the right place. So, you know, in a movie, you always, yeah, this is another thing that I have done. You see, when you go to a movie, who you like the movie? You like in the movie a hero. You like the movie, or when you see when there's some disaster taking place on Christ, then you see the hero flying in, or you always love the hero. The hero image is powerful and very fantastic. So why don't each of us think that you are the hero in your own life story? Okay, at this moment, this is not, okay, now you're in the difficulty in the situation. Imagine you acting in your own movie. Actually, I wanted to be an actor, but no, they only allowed me to go, but it doesn't matter. But the point is, the point here is that we continuously try and develop an attitude that brings more and more life and love by making sure that you are able to achieve your targets, achieve your goal. So go, what do you call it? Always act and be a hero in your movie, and always feel whoever that you're playing is with you. So God is a great accompaniment in your life. Always feel that He's part of you. So never feel that we have a failure in life. We always feel that we can succeed in everything you do, and sometimes results will come, but for sure it will not be denied. It may be a delay, but it will not be denied. That is for sure.
Perfect, brilliant. The next question would be to follow up with your answer that more problems, it only shows you that you are on the right track. The question is, there is a saying that you can't teach a fish to climb a tree. So how do we know if we are struggling to climb a tree when we were truly made and designed to swim?
Okay, if you are well meant to swim, there may be some people, like this is a classic example of some parents forcing children to do something that they really don't want to do, you know. And you always find that by struggling like this, you go through a big tussle and hustle and all that. Okay, in this case, in where situations where you come into that, there is a need for us to really sit down and talk with a lot of love. One, of course, is trying to fulfill that expectation, but the other is trying to make them understand that your talents are placed elsewhere. But there is a long-term benefit. Sometimes you find that parents may not understand the long-term benefit of that particular profession. So there is a more reason why we now need to get connected to them much more and talk and explain and express. There are successful people who might have taken that path that you want to take, bring them to your house, introduce them, and see how successful they are. So sometimes you have to help to remove the fears also. Don't fight the battle, but help to remove the fears that is found in your parents, if this is the case, and get them to understand that sometimes fish can swim, fish cannot climb the tree. So that understanding has to be given in the right frame of mind, in the right mood, in the right context of things. It will happen because a fish finally will get to the ocean. There's no question about it. But the struggle is the test. If you get angry, upset, agitated, restless, you fail the test. The test now is not in whether you swim the ocean or whether you climb the tree. The test now is in the relationship of the people who's forcing you to do this. What is your reaction? What is your response? So every day you have to come and bring the people who are pushing you into your mind's eye, give them a lot of love and vibration, continue to give respect, continue to struggle, to strive. Suddenly one fine day, the setting will be right. And then finally they realize, hey, listen, I know you're a fish. No, don't climb the tree. I myself will let you go into the ocean and you swim happily ever after. So it's a process. It is not the end goal. Don't justify the end, but justify the end by the means. The means is the relationship. The means is the cordial talking. The means is the one-to-one connection that you have. And that we must pass, because if you don't pass that, you will accumulate a lot of other things which will cause disagreement, disadjustments and things.
Brilliant, Prof. The next question would be, how is there any other way to face fear or phobia?
Yeah, every phobia has got a cause somewhere at the end. You know, there is some place where you must have developed that phobia. So first question is, there are of course a lot of other people outside who are more expertly trained to handle phobia in the form of psychologists and psychiatrists. They are very much trained, and there's a process towards addressing these phobias. Of course, if the phobias are small and minor things, like there are some people who have phobia for butterfly. I know somebody who's also have a phobia for butterfly. So when you have a phobia for butterfly, you know, God said, you must see me in insects, you must see me in animals, you must see me in plants. So if you can superimpose that idea that this is also an expression and creation of divinity, and start looking at the butterfly with that kind of happiness and joy, you may find that one day that phobia thing will go off. So it's a question of reconciling. This I'm talking only about phobias that are smaller, but there are deep phobias that are caused by traumatic events in life, and that requires specific treatment, and that requires specified, psychological addressing, which has got other people who are more expert in handling those things. But these minor, small things can easily be taken over. There are some people just afraid, a little bit afraid of phobia for water. All these things can easily be done if we start sitting, talking, orientating, and discussing, giving confidence, and then the change will take place.
What about if it's a phobia of failing?
Okay, then you must ask this question. When you fail, what happens to you? If you fail, most people who don't like to take something and they fail, ayo, how can I face my people? What will friends think of me? And if I fail now, the projected identity which I have given to the society and community will collapse. Somebody has put a pin on the bubble is burst, the balloon is burst. Oh my God, my entire mask will come down. So that may be a fear. That could be one fear. That's the reason why we failed. We are taking the time to fail. So the issue here now is that if you have the intention, let's say a bicycle, if those of you are scared that people will laugh, you'll never take a bicycle, because every time you cycle, you'll fall down. The first time you'll fall, second time you fall, third time you fall, and then finally you start cycling like anything. Car driving also. How many times you have hit cars, hit the bar and all these things? Every time we have done all these mistakes, but we overcome these things only because we overcome the fear of failure. So here, when you say fear of failure, you have to check back our own ego. The real reason why we have this fear is the daughter or son, but the mother of that is ego. So when we have a large amount of ego in our life, these fears can develop. So we must address ego. How do you develop ego? How do you overcome that ego? We must have faith. So faith, it develops confidence. So faith in God, faith in the one whom you love. Just because the one whom you love, suddenly you find there is no more attention given to these fears. So Baba said, Swami said, one a great example, Baba said, that there was a person with a knife, holding a knife, and the person said, come on, mother said, give me the knife, and the child holds the knife even harder. But if the mother dangles the Kit Kat chocolate ice cream, the child focuses on the ice cream and drops the knife. The shift from the knife to the chocolate is the single most technology available to get rid of our negativity. So negativity, if in our life want to overcome, we should now look at bigger things, higher things, greater things. Suddenly we no more time, these small little pins and pricks don't affect us. So this kind of negativity that we develop, fears of this kind, phobias of this kind, is like darkness. How can darkness be overcome? Is by allowing the light to come in. When the moment light comes in, darkness disappears. So what is the light that we are traveling towards? That is what you now need to question. If the light is bright and great and something big, we got no more time for this fear. And suddenly the ego gets diluted and diffused and disintegrated. So this is how the personality develops in our life.
Okay, Prof, I think this would be the final question for today, I suppose. You have mentioned uncertainty is good because this will eventually bring oneself to one direction in the end. But what if this uncertainty has always been there in a person? There are many times we do feel this is our direction, but maybe it is not. And we are back to square one once again, which is uncertainty.
So question asked is that whenever you have like this, it's always very good to have a journal or a notebook. See, when you are having a notebook, you note the experiences down. You find that this is what is called a pattern. There is a pattern of always continuously being in uncertainty, because perhaps the decision that we make always leads us back like a maze back to the conclusion. So the decision making effectiveness is what that you need to question. So then you must ask, why is it that my decision making is always making me go back to uncertainty? So there is that where you must catch. So a notebook notes down, like research, you must write down all the decisions that you have made all the U-turns that you have done and all the uncertain experiences that you have put in a straight line like this, 1 to 10 or whatever it is, and then change your pen and take a red pen. Now you circle a common thing that is happening here. Certain decisions are always made for something else. Certain decisions are always made for certain things. Once you identify the pattern, that is where you start to see who you really are. This is my personality. I actually am designing my life according to certain patterns that I myself have developed. So when we start doing things like this nature, oh my God, then you will find that you will forever, you're in the quicksand. So what must we do? We must cut away the whole thing. We must cut away the cycle and get out of it. So the whole idea of life now is that we must identify where the weaknesses are, where the strength is. So this is what is called vigilance. Vigilance means becoming aware. You must become aware of our thinking processes. The more and more aware that we have become of thinking processes, that's the first step towards self-mastery. And that is how we move towards our goal and our success goals in life.
All right, thank you so
Okay,
much,
I want
Prof.
to ask those I want to ask those who are here now a question, because we just did this because we wanted to reach out to the higher group of people, especially the university students, and many of them are outside there. And it's very happy to see that 100 of you have come inside, but at the same time, there could be another few hundreds are not there. So I told the youth that you must, if you want to do this, then we must reach out to many people as we can. There could be 200, 300, 400 people. And, there are many things that we don't know, but little few things that we can share may inspire a few people to see things in a different way. It's all time taken, but at this period of time, we are capable of doing it. I'm not sure whether we should continue this. I do not know whether we need to do so. I don't know. What is your, is there some, can you give your feedback? Have you found this useful in the first instance? Is this an activity that you find useful? Is this something that you have gained in this process? Yeah, and you can be really honest, seriously, because we just want you to be candid and honest. So firstly, do you find this useful?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, would you like to, you can unmute yourselves and also tell your feedback.
Okay, there are some answers coming. Good to continue for youth, very relevant to them. Session is very useful. And Prof, could we have more session? It would be good. Okay, that's 3 out of 100. In statistics, that's 3%. That's 3%. So it's not even, thank you so much for session. And yes, I find it very useful. Okay. So yeah, it's really useful and beneficial. It's useful to give, it's useful. Okay. So, okay. So, what do you want me to, what do you want us to do? Can you, if you find it useful and this is good, what is it that you would like us to do? Do you want to have a continuous session once a Saturday like this session? And then go deeper into each session. Like goal means we have how to set goal, what's the proper way to set goal, and all that, so we keep on, and then people can ask questions like that. So the 100 of you or even more, now it's 100, there could be more people, who can come. And we said that we'll choose higher platforms to get more and more people, and especially people from the universities and colleges, those people who are around here. I think they are the ones who should be coming into the system now. And plus you all, then we can form groups like that and improve. Our intention is just this. We want to give, the goal is to give maximum happiness to maximum people for a maximum period, so that you will be able to change your life and see some positivity in your life. That's all. That's the only outcome of this exercise. And the reward that we can see is that at the end of the day, when somewhere along the way we bump into you and you say, hey, I've been successful, I'm so happy, I changed a few things. So that's the only happiness that we get, because we want you all to achieve success. A lot of holes, temptations, a lot of things in life is dragging our people away. Distractions are there. A lot of people throwing all kinds of claims. It's very sad to see that, and then our own people in the universities and colleges, because if you want to be really like eagles, you have to fly like the eagles. That's all. If you want to fly like the eagle, you have to be with the eagle. Otherwise, how else is there? And today's society is, we are not talking about small things. You have to be that eagle who fly high, because the world has become different. So these are things that we are trying to do, what little we know. So if you really want a continuous session, then perhaps you can SMS or email back to Prasad and Prasan. I've encouraged, as usual, this youth tend to wake up. There's one group who say that they want youth students to join. As usual, this youth group tend to wake up late. Perhaps you can conduct an evening session. evening session, maybe they might go to bed early. I'm not sure. But anyway, but anyway, I very. But anyway, what we can do is that we can plan this, since the response has been very positive. Yeah. So the suggestion is have the time between 5 and 6. What do you all think? Is it okay between 5 and 6? What is it on Saturdays? You want Saturdays? Is it idea? So thank you so much. Thank you so much for all the responses that you have given. I think it's really very inspiring to see so many of you keen on this. So we will try and do something worthwhile in the future. So thank you, Prashant, for organizing this. Thank you, Billy, for co-hosting this. And we'll finish off. Yeah, Prashant.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Professor. Okay, and also thank you so much, everyone, for your time and joining us this morning. And thanks for the suggestions. We will also take that into account. So hope to see you guys for the next session once we get on with the next session. Thank you so much and have a great, wonderful weekend. Take care and stay safe.
Bye.
Yeah,
Thank you, Salam.